this is Shannon from Skip to My Life, and on today's episode, I'm going to show you my all-time favorite DIY Christmas gifts, $5 and under. Let's go.
If you love to live an upscale lifestyle on a downsized budget, I am here for you at Skip to My Life. Today's video is a collaboration with Heidi's Ensemble DIY, and I will tell you more about that in just a minute. Let's start with this super easy gift basket. Now, I am taking this lucite tray from Dollar Tree and zhuzhing it up with some of that Dollar Tree garland. If you're new to Skip to My Life, welcome. I'm so glad we found each other. After I've created a little nest with that garland, I am going to place some of my favorite Dollar Tree cookies inside. Now, these are tried and true. They get lots of stars on the Dollar Tree website, and I have had my kids test these, so I know that they're all yummy. This basket cost me about $4 to put together, and it's something that you could easily give to neighbors, teachers, postmen, people like that maybe you thought were not in your budget this year. This felt Santa was part of a garland Dollar Tree sold. I think there were 6 to a pack. So when I'm finished, you can either present it like this or you can wrap it in some clear cellophane. I'm participating in Heidi's Ensemble DIY's collaboration this week, so you'll find the link below to click on and get tons and tons of wonderful crafting and gift-giving inspiration. Next, let's create a wine and cheese tray using 2 large Dollar Tree frames, 2 shower curtain rings, and some of those trays. Dollar Tree sells aluminum trays. I've just cut a couple strips from those. First, you'll want to start by taking the glass and the back off of each frame. Next, I cut some Dollar Tree contact paper in the shape of one of those frames. Now, you can use whatever you like. If you want to make this Christmassy, you could use wrapping paper, you could use a gift bag, just whatever appeals to you. For the next step, I spread E6000 glue and I glued a piece of glass into that first frame. Depending on how much wear and tear this tray is going to get, you may want to consider some clear caulk instead of the E6000, but the E6000 worked just fine for my purpose. Now you'll want to put your decorative paper in and close up the back of that frame. For our second frame, we will remove all of those little metal pieces that hold the backing in. We will not need those for the second frame. If you're coming back to Skip to My Life, thanks so much for subscribing. I love receiving your comments. I read every single one. Let me know what projects you're working on this holiday season. Now we'll create handles for each side of our tray by wrapping that strip of aluminum around the shower curtain ring. After you securely glued the aluminum onto the ring, you'll want to spray paint it whatever color you choose. Now, I chose to make it black like the frame. If you decide you want a different color, you may want to go backward and spray paint the frame and the handles at the same time. So you may have guessed it, we're going to be sandwiching those handles in between the 2 frames. First, I will securely glue those handles both with hot glue and E6000. And next, we're going to attach that second frame that has no glass. I know that this year has put a pinch on a lot of people's gift giving budgets, and I wanted to make sure that you all had plenty of ideas for DIYs that you could quickly and inexpensively put together for everyone on your gift list. Once you have secured those 2 frames together, I went ahead with painter's tape and taped them off so that they could dry. And this is another area where you may want to go ahead and put a little bead of clear caulk there. Here's our finished product, and who would not love to receive this gift? You could give it with a bottle of wine and some cheeses or some wine glasses. You could also use it as a dessert or candy tray, all wrapped up in cellophane. Our third project is a Glam gift basket, and this is oh so simple. I actually have already gifted this to my daughter and she loved it. So all you'll be doing is using one of those wine tumblers, a pair of cozy socks, and then whatever other elements are in your budget and you think your recipient might love. We'll start by hot gluing a little block of styrofoam to the center of that glass. Now this will pop out if your recipient would like to drink out of it. It comes out very easily, so no worries about that. Next, we will use those cozy socks to line the inside of our wine tumbler. Take your time with this step and just be very gentle. I use some pointy scissors to help me push that down so that that foam block is completely hidden. Now we're just attaching shish kebab sticks to the back of those items by gluing them on. And I'll be using holiday scatter and some party items from Dollar Tree to take this up to another level. The key to making a really adorable gift basket is in the presentation. So we're going to use some polka dotted tissue paper. This was just left over from my stash. And we're going to cover up those shish kebab sticks in the back and then cover it with cellophane. Now Dollar Tree does sell shrink wrap bags. They also sell holiday theme bags, but I prefer to use the cello roll. Our next $5 and under Christmas gift idea is a charcuterie board. Now these are really trendy this year. I actually made this item from an old piece of wood that we had left in our garage. So I spent very, very little on this item. If you have a piece of wood like this, it will totally work for you. If you have a hard time finding wood, you could use a couple of those Dollar Tree signs and just glue them together and it would work just as well. As you can see, I thoroughly sanded the wood and then I drilled 2 holes on either end. Now these are going to be for the handles. I decided to paint this tray outdoor paint in the color gray. You can use whatever color you like, or if you just really love the wood grain, you can stain it. I purchased a strand of beads from Hobby Lobby. Now these were on sale in the fall, so I paid I think $2 for this whole strand. But we are going to first glue 1 bead to each corner of the tray so it sits up above the counter we rested on. And then I will just use some jute twine and thread some of those beads through, tie it on the other side of the tray, and add a little bit of super glue to make sure that that handle is secure. I started out with the idea of making a charcuterie board from this. I ended up using it as a coffee bar, hot cocoa bar. So when I display it, you will see that, but you can use it however you like. And everyone would love to get a gift like this, especially if you stock it with some yummy items. Our next $5 and under gift basket is going to be a little cozy theme. Now, I started with a Dollar Tree white tree that I then painted red and white and stuck it in that basket. The theme here is a cozy office theme, so you will see that the items I chose are related to a home office, but you can use whatever theme you like. I know a lot of people are working at home right now, and it would be so nice to get a gift like this of a little bit of Christmas cheer. I'm using this white tub from Dollar Tree and creating a base with some craft paper. Then I rolled up a little throw that I had. Now, it just depends on what your budget is for this basket. I know that Walmart is selling these simple throws for $5, but you certainly don't have to include this. You could include food or sweets or other items. This was part of my theme, and I just went around Dollar Tree and Walmart and picked up red items. So everything in this basket is white or red, including these adorable little reading glasses. Let me know how you adapt this idea for your gift giving. Our next DIY $5 and under gift will be this Snowflake Wreath. Now, I used a hula hoop from Dollar Tree, and I'm repurposing this from another wreath that I previously made and just covering it with a white paint tarp. I cut the paint tarp into strips and wound it around the wreath until the wreath was entirely covered. You can use whatever you have, an old t-shirt. You could use some of those industrial wipes from Dollar Tree just to get that effect of a white background on the wreath. Many people are choosing alternate decor schemes for their holiday decorating this year, and I'm going to be using pink and gold on this wreath and glam it up just a little bit. I bought 2 different tubes of globes from Dollar Tree, as well as this large snowflake ornament. Now these come in silver, gold, and blue, so you can really adapt it to whatever your color scheme or the gift that you're giving. I first removed all the little spouts from those globes. I don't know what those are called. I call them spouts. You can tell me if you know what those little holes where they attach to the tree are called. I removed all of them, and then I applied hairspray to all the glitter because I did not want that falling out as I worked with it. And I cut off the little rim from the snowflake where it hangs because we won't be needing that. Now next we will be gluing those globes on. They glued on so easily to that paper paint tarp. So I do suggest that. I purchased that paper tarp at Walmart. It has a waterproof backing and then just a paper front. These ornaments now provide a base for our giant snowflake. Now, I could not believe the value in this snowflake decor. It's huge, and Dollar Tree has really just upped their game on decor this year. So after we have that base, we're going to go back in and we're going to glue the remaining globes in and around this centerpiece, just according to how it looks good to you. I did fill in some of those gaps with some extra ribbon and some table scatter. Here's our finished masterpiece, and I know this would make a beautiful gift. It certainly looks like it cost much more than $5. Next, we're going to create a super simple and inexpensive candy bouquet using one of the decorative Christmas boxes from Dollar Tree and some of the bite-sized candies you can also buy at Dollar Tree. This method will be really similar to that Glam cocktail glass that we did in the beginning. We're going to start by inserting a little piece of styrofoam, and to that we're just going to cover it up with some tissue paper. Now you'll see to the right I've already added those shish kebab sticks to my candies, and I'll go ahead and arrange those in the foam. We'll also mount the lid of the box on a shish kebab stick, and it becomes the centerpiece of this candy bouquet. Now I'll simply fluff up that tissue paper so that the shish kebab sticks cannot be seen, and you'll see that I put a tab sticker on the back of those sticks just so that the ones that are peeking out, you can't see the stick itself. I gave this bouquet to my nieces and nephews, and they were so excited to receive this. So the rest is just adding some little cute bows to make this even more adorable, and you can adapt this to whatever theme it is that you think your recipient would love. Dollar Tree really hit it out of the park this year with their gift bag designs, and I'm going to show you how to make a high-end piece of art using a large Dollar Tree frame and one of their gift bags. This gift is definitely a $5 and under gift. However, it does take a little time to cut all these details out. So put on your favorite Hallmark Christmas movie and you'll be able to cut around all of that detail of the bag. In the background, I just taped some wrapping paper in that sky blue color. I chose a Christmas themed gift bag, but you could make this a totally different theme that could be put up all year around. So our first step is going to be to attach that front of the bag, and underneath I'm going to put a little road made out of the gingham from the side of that bag. I think that Dollar Tree put out a set of these similar vintage looking bags because I saw them in at least 2 different sizes. So if you like this particular print, you may want to do a thorough search of your store for the matching set. I cut a little snowdrift from the cardboard liner inside the box, and I put all that in place by using school glue. The rest of this is really up to you, how much time you have and energy you have, and how much detail you want to include. But I wanted to include the little Mary, and so I needed to cut out the duplicate of a couple of those figures from the back to go over that lettering. And now I'm going to be adding some Dollar Tree glitter just to take it up even one notch more. I have to tell you, this was one of the most fun DIY Christmas crafts that I made this year. It just somehow brought out the child in me to kind of play around with these colors. And I remember that these were the colors that were really big for Christmas when I was a kid. You can leave it just like this and put it back in the frame with the glass over top, but I wanted to make it a 3D effect, so I glued some Jenga blocks over that truck. I mounted the second truck from the other side of the bag on cardboard, and I glued it over those jingle blocks. And voila, we have a high-end piece of DIY Christmas art for less than $5. This next $5 and under DIY Christmas gift is a classic. I found 2 of these mugs at my local thrift store, and I went ahead and zhuzhed it up just a little bit by transferring the cocoa with some extra chocolate to a Ziploc bag. And then I made it look a little bit fancier by tying a bow and then cutting off the top. Now I did the same thing with a few different elements. You can tailor this according to what you can find. Dollar Tree has so many cute options this year. They have peppermint spoons, they have hot cocoa bombs, they have chocolate spoons, and then these adorable little marshmallows that are in the shape of Christmas items. I have to be really honest with you all and let you know I did taste test these spoons, and they do not taste the greatest, but they sure are cute. So I went ahead and added them just for the visual effect. You all can tell me what you think, if you have ever tried them, what you think. Maybe it's just me. So to help out with filling that mug, I inserted a pool noodle in the middle and then stuffed some tissue paper around it. And now it is really easy just to place those items in. The question of the day is, will you be hosting the holiday or will you be going somewhere else? Let me know. We have kind of a small area to entertain in, so we most likely will be going to our in-laws for Christmas Day this year. For our next DIY $5 and under Christmas gift, we're going to be using 3 of these little polar bear planters from Dollar Tree and 1 white salad plate. Now, if you have seen these beautiful candle stands from Bath & Body Works, you probably are getting the idea of what I am duping here. But I'm using these 3 polar bears, and I'm going to turn that salad plate upside down, and we're going to have a beautiful candle stand, and it's going to look a little bit like the Northern Lights or an Arctic theme. Make sure you get this even by marking with a dry erase where your plate will rest on these little plant stands. And then when you're ready, use some hot glue and super glue to glue them down. Now I'm going to show you the side view. You may want to put a paper towel roll down the center of that plant stand just to make sure it has a little bit more to rest on. I wish I had done that before I glued the plate on. I'll cover the center of that plate, the words on the bottom, with some white chalk paint. And then I'm just going to add some of that table scatter from Dollar Tree, as well as some glitter. Now, I just applied school glue before I put the glitter down. Once that glitter is completely dry and I've shaken off the excess, I will be using Dollar Tree's clear nail polish as a sealer over the top. This is the first time I tried this method, and I was honestly very, very happy with it. You will want to make sure it is thoroughly dry overnight. And voila, here we have our beautiful little dupe. Now you can do this next idea with any greeting card. You don't have to go and buy a special greeting card. I am using the snowman, which I thought was just perfect for the season, and framed it in a 5x7 frame. Very, very simple, nothing special to it so far. Then I purchased a pack of some of the clear plastic snowflakes from Dollar Tree and simply glued them around that frame. If you can't find a card you like, you could use gift wrap. You could print out free clip art from the internet. Just Google winter clip art free. Or you could use a gift bag or even a picture. This would make a wonderful gift to go with a gift card as well. Next, we'll make a holiday drink station. This will be a perfect $5 and under a DIY gift for people who are doing some entertaining. It would also be great for a neighbor, a postman, a service worker, or a kid that is in college and maybe they just need some extra drink cups. I know my kids both did when they were in college. So we'll start by attaching these little chalkboard vinyls to the front of the cups. Now I did use some nail polish remover to get that shiny surface off the cup first. And then I'm going to make this an iced coffee beverage station. I'm adding some little Starbucks coffees, but you can make this any kind of drink that is in your budget. Now we're going to use that same trick again. We'll put the pool noodle in the center and then stuff that tissue paper down the middle. I will tell you that Dollar Tree got really smart with their packaging for these spoons this year, because in the past about 50% of them were shattered and broken. So they've done a really great job with that this year. The next idea is going to be a wine glass votive. Now, one of you commented that she was making these for all her ladies in her card playing group, and I thought that that was a great idea for this one. I'm starting with an old candle lid. You can really use anything that you have, a saucer or plate. And I am sizing a bottle brush Christmas tree to fit under a wine glass. Now the wine glass was purchased from Dollar Tree. Around that rim, I am going to place E5000 and also some super glue. And then I'll just begin to decorate. Now inside that wine glass, I did put some table scatter. You can put fake snow or whatever your heart desires. I'm adding a gold bow to the top. Dollar Tree has some beautiful bows that you can purchase if you don't have time or don't feel confident making a bow. And then on top, I just rested my little votive candle. The next project will feature the mini cookie tins from Dollar Tree. Now, if you see these, you need to purchase as many as you want quickly because they do sell out. Secondly, we'll be using a toy soldier from Dollar Tree. And I had already added some bling to this guy from last year, but you could just use him plain. We will be using another lid to a candle that I had from last year as a base, glued on top of that cookie tin. And now we'll just add the toy soldier a little bit to the left, and in his arm he will be holding one of those Lindor candy sticks. You can just leave this as is and it looks adorable, or you can use whatever creativity and supplies you have on hand to decorate it with all manner of ribbon and bows and anything else that suits your fancy. Our next project could actually be completely free, so follow along as I make a designer wreath. Now, if you have ever longed to have one of these in your home, but they're just out of your price range, I'm going to show you how to make these so quickly and easily. Everyone on your list will want one. All you need to do is go to a Christmas tree lot after they have cut the trees for customers, and just ask, could I please pick up all the limbs that are laying on the floor? Most of the time they will be very happy to have you do that. It's less cleanup for them. And then just purchase some paddle wire from any florist or craft store. And you could use an old wire hanger, or if you have a frame like I did, you can just begin wiring that Christmas tree material around the frame, and you can just leave it as is. You can hot glue some little balls on for berries. You can put an ornament on. I decided to add this little whimsical bow with some ornaments. When you've been doing these decor DIYs as long as I have, you really lose any sense of embarrassment. When I pulled up to the Christmas tree lot and asked for the boughs that were left over, the guys kind of laughed at me and said, "Oh, someone was here right before you." But sure enough, I found plenty left over. For this next $5 and under Christmas DIY, I started with one of those cute little Dollar Tree Christmas trees. Now, These are not the fullest trees, but they work perfectly for the project we are going to do. I purchased 2 burlap bags for $1 from Dollar Tree and stuffed them with plastic bags. I had spray painted this little white Christmas tree with some red spray paint, and I simply stuck it in the bag and tied that bag very securely around the base of the tree. After adding a star to the top with some table scatter, we are finished with our high-end tree.
Thanks so much for coming along on today's adventure. Until we see each other next time, don't forget, today is not the end of your story. Don't give up.